Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. I am your host, Michael Dolce, and joined, as always, by my illustrious co-host, Mr. Hassan Godwin. So it's a sad day in the offices today, actually, right? I mean, it's like our interns.
It is. It's a little melancholy.
It's our interns' last day.
The interns are crying. They've been crying for like an hour.
Tears of joy?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. They're crying because they have to spend this last hour here.
That's been like every week.
Yeah, that's every girl's ambition is to sit in a room with like two geeks and an engineer. You know, like what are we doing Wednesday?
Who is also a geek too?
Huh?
Who is also a geek.
I didn't want to disparage him. He's got his hands on the button.
He's got his hands on the button. He could
shut us down, man.
He could shut us down.
Don't insult the engineer. Never insult the engineer.
Well, I mean, you make good points, except for the points that you didn't.
Thank you. Yeah, except for the time.
Except for the ones that you didn't. But, all right, we talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture every week.
Yeah, every week.
We're on our Facebook. We're streaming live on Facebook.
Streaming live.
Facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, SIRE. You can find me on Twitter, Michael_Dolce. You can find Hassan on Twitter, too, which you should actually, harass him on Twitter. Because it's kind of like a thing to do.
Yeah.
And he's at HS Godwin,
hey.
GODWIN. For some reason.
How'd you not spell that?
Dog?
That's like 2 words.
I know. It's not easy. We're also on Patreon. We're on SoundCloud. We're on iHeartRadio, iTunes. Again, just search for Sire, SIRE. Search for my last name, Dolce.
And don't ask me what the Sire is. Because I don't know.
That's about a superhero forced by his own costume.
But I wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Why would I know that?
Well, because you've read the book.
I'm just an employee of the great Sire Empire here.
Amazing segue, though. I don't even know if you meant to do this, though. We have a big Sire announcement coming on Monday.
I'm trying to segue myself right out of this room. It's hot as heck in here.
Could be a new issue.
Could be.
Could
is
be a
it,
new
though?
Issue coming out?
Just tell us. Is it a new issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right, good.
But big announcement coming Monday, so check it out on
stop with
Monday.
your announcements.
Yeah. So
don't tease the people.
I will tease whoever I want.
Don't tease the people. Save the people. Yeah. Don't tease them.
So in the process, we love the people. We love all the people that are joining us.
I don't like the people.
So in the process,
there's a lot of them.
And
they're everywhere.
Well, I did say off the air that I'm not impressed by people.
Yes. See,
but that's like
you're being two-faced right now.
That's a call to action, though, for these people to impress me more. That's really all it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm just very discerning.
Listening. They're right now. They're collectively trying to up their profiles for you.
Are they?
Yes.
Because I did not know I had that kind of power.
You don't.
No.
But I'm lying to you right now.
I appreciate the lie.
No, it's no problem. I'm here to lie to you.
You know, some people are like, "Oh no, I want to hear the truth." No, fabricate, please. Okay. Give me the lie.
Absolutely.
I would like to walk
When we
around.
walk out the door this evening, humanity will be improved, and it will be all because of you in this broadcast.
I think that's a fairly accurate statement. I agree with you 100%.
Yes, and we're not going to get the credit for what we have done here today.
We never get the credit, though.
No, we're not going to get the credit.
That's
I'm not even going to catch my train on time.
Yeah,
it's not even going to work, and I'm not going to get a seat, even though I've saved humanity.
Even though you saved, but that's like the pregnant lady on the subway. No one gives her a seat. Like etiquette has gone out the window,
including me. I don't give a pregnant lady. It's like she's bringing another person in this world.
Right?
The heck with her.
More humanity?
Huh? Yeah.
More humanity.
Yeah. What are you doing? It's already bad. You're bringing more people to the party. It's ridiculous. We don't have any food. Get her out of here. I'm all right. Sorry. So anyway, so what's on the agenda?
Well, I was going to say, and I will say it quicker now, that we, as always, we have a lot to talk about. Yeah. But one of the things we were going to do was go and do our very ever popular trailer, Truth or Trash. Go through the movie trailers that debuted at Comic-Con and kind of pick them apart a little bit and determine, did the trailer give away too much? Because that's a big thing, and I think we're looking at you, Thor Ragnarok.
Well,
but also,
you kind of know what that movie's about. Not to get into the discussion right now.
No, I don't think you do, and we can get into that discussion right now. I think you thought it was Hulk versus Thor because that was the first.
Is
trailer.
That what you think I thought? Did you actually think I thought that?
No, I don't think anything. Of what you think.
You don't think anything of what I think.
Correct.
Because I'm thinking it, and therefore, if you thought what I was thinking, you'd be me.
No, not that.
No?
Deep. Not that deep at all.
Was that
That's way too deep.
I'm sorry.
That was way too deep. I just meant I don't pay attention to what you say.
You're ignoring me.
Right. I don't think about what you think.
I get those mixed up.
Think about that statement.
I get those confused. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But that's what the first trailer was kind of all about, and that's kind of
yes, it seemed like from the first trailer, the teaser,
a cool reveal.
He gets kicked out of Asgard, and then he ends up being a gladiator, because that's what happens to gods when they get kicked out of they get evicted, and then they just go become gladiators, because that's. I've read that in stories.
But it was cool. The cool part about that trailer, though,
What's that?
Was that, it kind of set up, the whole Planet Hulk thing, kind of bringing into screen, because they can't actually do a real Hulk movie.
Because they won't.
Well, no, they don't have the license to do it. Hulk is allowed to appear in Marvel movies.
They don't have the license to do Hulk?
They don't have the license to do it.
But they did a Hulk movie already.
No, not a Marvel Hulk movie. Ed Norton was not a Marvel Hulk movie.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's part of the canon. That movie is part of the canon. They acknowledged
it as part of the canon, but it is not an official Marvel film.
Really?
The way their licensing deal works is that's
ridiculous.
He can appear as an Avenger, essentially, which means he can guest star in a movie. But they can't put out a Marvel Hulk movie right now.
Because a World War Hulk or Planet Hulk movie would be a gigantic event.
And that's what they're kind of doing here with the Thor films. Kind of merging that. Plus Thor Ragnarok, which is a very popular...
Yeah, they got to throw Thor in. They got to throw him a bone. But they're basically doing a Hulk movie.
Did you read the Michael Avon Oeming run of Thor Ragnarok too?
No, I did not.
Funny story about that. I read it, was very unimpressed, and went and sold all of those books on eBay, because at the time they were going for lots of money. And I made the mistake of saying that my copies were mint condition, because I said, well, I read them once, so they have to be mint. And I got an angry seller that wrote back to me saying, how dare you say this is mint condition? There was stains from breakfast on one of the pages, which, looking back, I probably was eating when I read them.
You shouldn't dip your comics in your eggs.
They taste so good.
It does not preserve them.
I had a harsh lesson in what is mint versus not as mint. But the bottom line is I did sell them, and I made $100 off those
I have a question.
6 issues. Yeah.
Is that what you call a funny story?
I'd say amusing. You're right. You're right. No, I actually set that up.
That was more anecdotal.
I set that up poorly.
It was a funny story.
Or I set it up great in the sense of it got everyone's anticipation.
There is one guy out there, all alone, laughing by himself.
He's like, preach on. He's like, I've had that happen.
Exactly.
That exact thing happened.
He's like, oh my God, that Dolce. Every time. Every time he gets me.
It's like he's speaking right to me.
And you are, because no one else is listening.
So the Michael Avon Oeming run of Thor Ragnarok, they kind of combine the two, and it's a great mix of the two, so they get all this stuff in there, and that was what the first trailer kind of did, and it was like, hey, this is really cool. And then you have Cate Blanchett, who looks effing badass.
I thought it was Blanchet.
Is it Blanchet?
No, I think it's Blanchet.
It is, right? It's like octopi.
Yes.
Right. Blanchet.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah.
She looked fantastic. And she
Enchilada.
looks just like a real total badass. And it's Cate Blanchett, so it's kind of like, that's like totally just give her the floor. She's like amazing.
Yeah, you can't really. That's like trying to do a scene with Daniel Day-Lewis. You've lost.
No, it's just like this is like legit. And she's like pouring herself into the role. Like it looks.
She's been doing strange movies. Kind of smaller profile, although large, like more schlocky movies.
On an anecdotal
starting with the Indiana
note,
Jones movie that she did.
An anecdotal side note: I confused her with who was the one in Snowpiercer? Tilda Swinton. Yeah.
Yes, you did that last week.
I did
last
do that
week.
last
You did
week.
that.
See, so if anybody wants to catch up,
that wasn't funny or
iTunes.
anecdotal either. That was reflective more.
It was reflective?
Yeah, that wasn't, and that's a bad segue.
All right.
Too.
Well, the interns are not out of a job just yet. They need to keep track of everything that is anecdotal. Side note.
Right now, their job is to laugh at everything I say, and they're doing a great job.
They're not doing that great a job at all, actually.
They were laughing.
You need to say funny things, and then they will laugh.
Are you saying that I'm not funny? This is impossible.
No one on this show is funny.
That's true.
We are not very funny.
But as unfunny people go, I am funnier than most of the unfunny people that I've ever known.
That's hurting my head. All right, so the next trailer that came out.
Okay. So we're done with Thor Ragnarok.
No. We're going with the next Thor, the one that actually debuted at Comic-Con. You know, the one that.
Okay, you're talking about the next.
The one that people like David Leibowitz and Brian Everham and Sergio Renwick from Bad Code of Funky, way to go, Sergio, and Thor and McGee are joining our Facebook feed to talk about was the one that debuted at Comic-Con.
Right.
basically gave away the entire movie.
Okay.
Like in one fell swoop, it gave away like the entire movie. So I think Dormammu's in it. That's what it looks like at the end, right? Like Hulk is battling Dormammu. Don't know where he fits into this mess.
Yeah, but then aren't you excited for that? Aren't you like, how did they work that in? It's like kind of what they did with the Avengers, where they show Hulkbuster.
Yeah, I guess there
imagine
are
if they
questions.
didn't show that in the trailer, and that just happened.
Yeah,
and then Tony Stark just became a Hulkbuster, and
it would be like an unbelievably tweeted about, talked about moment in the movie that people couldn't talk about because they didn't want to spoil anything, and it would create even more buzz when the actual movie came out, as opposed to the trailer where it's
it's like, it's Hulkbuster.
Thor doesn't come out till November. I mean, we've got time before we actually need to see this thing. So your trailer giving away the entire movie is not really.
But how do you know they gave away the whole movie?
Well,
do you think they just gave away a lot of the movie?
They essentially already. So in the first trailer, it's Hulk versus Thor, and the closing scene is Hulk and Thor about to battle. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen. I mean, obviously, look, they're going to become friends and this and that, but like the very next, this trailer is like, well, now they're friends and they're talking, and Bruce Banner's now back in there, and then Hulk's now in there, and Hulk is talking. They give away the fact that Hulk is talking now, like an actual human being as well. So that's now okay. That's been thrown out there. Basically, Cate Blanchett. We knew that she kind of disrupted Asgard to get Thor out of. That's the the catalyst of the whole film,
right?
But now all four of them, and Loki is there, and he's going to be part of it.
You figured Loki was going to be in it because it's a Thor movie.
Well, and he was the one impersonating Odin, obviously as well too. So you knew,
and they gave that away in the teaser because Loki was in the teaser.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you have that shot of all four of them now walking across. I mean,
they're walking.
Yeah, they're walking across the bridge.
Same movie?
Across the bridge.
All of them are. Okay.
Across the bridge.
All right, you gotta give context.
I figure our audience is smarter than that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the right stuff.
Did I give too much credit to my audience?
You always do.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
We don't really have an audience, so we don't have to worry about that.
Well, that's true. Actually, it's very true. After this week, we're gonna have no one. It's gonna be
yes, it's over. Yeah. Yes, because they'll be gone.
They'll be gone.
So there'll be no one left,
and that'll be our best shows ever.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is did Thor jump the gun? I can basically tell you what the plot is going to be, and I can even tell you how they're going to work Dormammu in, because Cate Blanchett is going to, she's the goddess of death.
Spoiler?
Yeah, I am.
You're going to spoil it?
I am. I'm going to spoil what they've already spoiled. If I had to grade it versus, well, first of all, trailer truth. That's what we kind of do. Is all the stuff that we saw in the trailer what's going to end up happening? My vote is yes. I think it's truth. I think everything we see there.
And you think it's too much?
I think it's too much.
Right. I think we can't know until we see it. But
well, I mean, yeah, obviously.
I will in this context. I will lean towards your point of view on it that maybe they give away a little too much.
And do you think they're just relying on the fact that they're Marvel movies now? Like, are they basically? Is Marvel
we
just
do
basically,
this every week?
Well, I mean, every week we bring on new viewers, and
So that okay.
So they might not know.
So
trust me.
We have this discussion every week. They're not going to ever have to go back.
Only apparent because we live our lives, But if you were to listen to our lives on a weekly basis, it's not as bad.
What's the whole question?
Well, the question is Marvel relying on the fact that they're Marvel to sell the movie versus giving us something that's. Well,
doesn't everybody rely on their brand to sell their brand to an extent?
I think so.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. When we come back, a strange thing kind of happened.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
I didn't even actually mean to do it that way, but it did. It really was. Bad. It was a strange thing that kind of happened when we were promoting the show.
Stranger things have happened.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
like our interns who were like tiny kids when this movie came out.
And now they're adults. Imagine that.
I know. Well, I would not
that.
call our interns adults. They're getting.
I treat them like adults, unlike you.
You just don't talk to them.
That's how I treat them like adults.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We frame ourselves as a comic book movie podcast, but that's really just a clever deception so that we can kind of talk about whatever we want to. Anything kind of related in this pop culture.
Again,
Comic-Con.
you reveal you lie to the people.
Yeah, I mean, that's... But see, I'm very truthy when
You're
I lie.
truthy in how much you lie.
Right, exactly. So, I mean,
That's
am
very
I lying?
clever.
Am I lying?
No one will ever figure that out.
No, well, no one listens to the show. We've already been through this, so it works out pretty good. As we kind of were talking about in the first segment, though, I want to give a shout-out to Brian Everham. The Hulkbuster armor was cool, but it never works in the comics. I was disappointed they let Stark win that battle. That's a little comment.
Yes.
To...
Yes, I agree with him.
Whoa. Now, Brian Everham is your nemesis.
No, he just he's wrong about the prequels. That's about it.
Oh, man.
That's all that's wrong with him.
Oh, man. We'll get into those prequels that were terrible.
What?
But
No,
not
they
tonight.
weren't.
But not tonight.
You're an
not
idiot.
Tonight. All right, so we were talking about the movie trailers from Comic-Con. We've got, and like I said, we actually do have a lot to talk about, though.
I know.
We're going to have Dennis
We're
Calero.
still stuck on Thor.
Well, no, we're going to move past Thor.
Oh.
But we're going to have Dennis Calero come on
Yes.
next segment.
Mhm.
He worked on the Dark Tower movie.
Yes,
He was
and the
concept
comic
artist
book.
and the comic book.
Comic book adaptation.
Because we don't know anything about Dark Tower.
Not much,
I am
no.
being very truthful right now and saying, it looks cool.
Which
Matthew
probably
McConaughey.
means you're lying.
Matthew McConaughey, very cool.
Yes, that is McConaughey. They
Idris-
gave the ending of
Idris
the movie
Elba?
away, as I said.
Did they really?
It
See, I
said-
wouldn't even know that.
Yeah, because
wouldn't
he
even know
says
that.
death always wins, so I don't have to see that. It's on the poster.
Yeah, but that's like...
Why would you do that?
Death, but
Why would you
that's-
put that on the poster?
But that's like the whole... That's a real downer, actually.
It says death always wins.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Whoever beat death? Nobody. Nobody.
Harry Houdini swore he would. But
Harry
he did not.
Houdini's dead.
Right.
Therefore,
he never came back.
He did not beat death.
I agree. No, I'm saying he swore he would. But if he can't, then no one can. That's the way I look at it.
Unless
they come back as Idris
my next
Elba.
door neighbor looks a little like Houdini.
There you go.
All right,
You
move
never
on.
know. All right. So we're going to talk about them next segment. We're
Houdini?
also
We're
going
gonna
to
talk about
talk...
Houdini next
No, we're done with Houdini.
Okay, all right. Good,
He was
good for us.
A dead 1930s magician.
Yeah.
Got
Who might be my next door neighbor.
Got punched in the stomach.
Died.
That's how he died.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
So he didn't beat... I think death punched him in the stomach.
He actually had this whole thing where he had an iron stomach and you could punch him any time and he would be able to withstand any punch.
Mm-hmm. So then someone came along.
Someone came along and like basically did it when he wasn't looking.
Right.
And
he wasn't able to prepare and he ruptured his appendix. I think.
Right.
And he died.
I know.
Because it was the 1920s and they, like, well, what's wrong with him? Give him a milkshake. Move on.
Did they treat with milkshakes?
That was triage back
and leeches,
then. It's
right?
like, yeah,
leeches and milkshake.
Have a milkshake and a leech.
Milkshake and a leech.
Yes.
That was medicine in the 1920s.
That's in every book I've read.
Our interns are like, what are leeches? We don't even know what that is.
Who's Houdini? Who is
How
this
old are we?
Houdini
Wait a
guy?
minute. How old are we?
You're talking about Italian magicians here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Was he Italian?
I don't know. It ends with an I.
Yeah. You racially profiled him.
Huh? Yes, I did. I just racially profiled Houdini.
All right, so we're going to talk about
move on.
that. We got to talk about the new Domino the new Domino photo release from Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I guess we got it.
With her Colin Kaepernick afro, which is causing...
Oh! It's just an afro.
No. It looks exactly...
He didn't invent that look.
I didn't say he invented it, but
Jimi Hendrix
wearing
invented
it
that
very,
look.
very well. Okay, you could go with a Hendrix afro.
Yeah,
but I was trying to
call
be
it
a little
Hendrix.
more relevant to like today.
Hendrix is never going to be not relevant, my friend.
Hendrix would always be considered
the greatest.
Oh no! I get with that, but in terms of like relevancy, like he's.
How can you be irrelevant if you're the greatest ever?
Will always be iconic.
How could you be irrelevant if you're an icon?
I didn't say he's irrelevant.
You
Why
almost
do you keep
did.
thinking, Sam,
You came
irrelevant?
very close to saying irrelevant.
No. I never came close to it. Never even thought.
Your
that
feelings
thought
about
never
Jimi
popped
Hendrix
into
are
my
irrelevant.
mind.
I don't want to talk about Hendrix anymore. My
So we're going to
feelings
talk
are hurt
about the
now.
Hendrix-esque afro on Domino. But
it is a bit much.
In the process of promoting the show, right, and going, and there's a ton. There were 40 different trailers, not including the Black Panther one, which is still not released to the public. In fact, Marvel has taken down some of the trailers that
but
came out
the teaser was good. The teaser was pretty good too.
Right. So
and it's made Run the Jewels a famous band.
Right. So there was tons of trailers. So I actually went through my whole list of like trailers that were kind of cool. I mean, some were not even be able to really talk about Gotham. Is Gotham still a thing? I mean, are people still watching it? I know, but it's kind of like
would it be on TV if no one was watching it?
Kind of like, well, not for long, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., same thing. Like they didn't do anything.
It's coming
for them.
back. So for another season,
5 seasons is syndication, and so they try to get to that magic season. They try to get to that magic season.
So you're
5.
saying that it's not doing well, but they're just leaving it on so that they can get syndicated, so they can show it more.
Right. Syndication money is like big bucks. Big bucks. Krypton, Sci-Fi's Krypton,
which hasn't aired yet.
No, but the trailer was again debuted at Comic-Con.
Yes.
Arrow for next season kind of debuted. Like all these Marvel Inhumans, which comes out in September 1st. So we'll talk about that. I know. I'm with you. Westworld got a lot of buzz.
Yeah. Which is coming a lot sooner than
2018. I mean, it's going to be. But
you didn't realize that 2017 is almost over.
I know.
No,
I did.
Because when they told us last year that it wasn't going to come out until 2018, everyone was like, "It's a whole extra year away."
Yeah,
but now it's already on the horizon.
Star Trek Discovery, that trailer that's got a lot of hype.
But beautiful.
I mean, that's the thing. So many good trailers. Yeah, so many good things at Comic-Con this year really released. So we had a lot to promote. We had a lot to talk about. We have a lot to go through.
And you keep talking about how much we have to talk about,
but. The one thing I found though was very interesting though, is I threw it out there on a poll. So you go to my Twitter page at Michael_Dolce.
And the self plug.
Which well, I want people to vote in the poll. And we'll reveal what the winner was. But actually, I mean, we'll basically reveal it right now. When I asked, are you more excited for Defenders, which was a big trailer? I mean, not only was it a big trailer, they showed the entire first episode at Comic-Con. It's like a rousing standing ovation. Or are you looking forward to Stranger Things 2? And overwhelmingly, the response I was getting from folks, Stranger Things 2, like not even close.
How many Twitter followers do you have?
I have a respectable 3,500. That's respectable.
It's 3,500 people out of 900 million people.
Yeah, but you do like the Nielsen ratings, right? Like the Nielsen ratings is not like when they say like 1 million people watched a show, it's really like 1,000 people, but they kind of like they amplify what it is.
When the Avengers trailer came out,
don't make fun of my Twitter following.
I just did.
I know.
What you gonna do?
I just said don't do it.
What you gonna do outside?
I'm gonna scold you.
Cash me outside.
I'm gonna scold you and run away. I mean, that's essentially what it is.
You can't run. We still got some more show to do.
But should have thought of that before you before you made fun of my Twitter following.
I'll finish the show for you. When the Defenders trailer came out, that was a big buzz, though, right? Defenders trailer is now old. The Stranger Things trailer just happened, so of course the buzz is bigger for that, right? Isn't that the logical thing?
I mean, it's just overwhelming. It seems, and it just seems kind of funny because
what do you think that means?
In the age of the superhero show, which is so big right now, the superhero movie, which is so big right now, it's actually like a nostalgic take on the '80s. That is capturing, even the hardcore comic book fan base. I could see why Stranger Things is going to be. I mean, even our interns are like, "Oh, Stranger Things, yeah, I love that show." And they want nothing to do with this program. Which
they're
is good.
Asleep right now.
Well, no, I mean, I think
they're not excited about Stranger Things.
That's not necessarily true. Okay, the one is asleep.
Yeah,
but,
one sound asleep.
But she's not technically an intern, so it's okay. She's not technically an intern.
She's intern-esque.
She's a guest. She's a guest.
She's internish.
Our goal is to get an entire studio audience in here and put them all to sleep. That's our goal.
I think we can accomplish that. That's finally a goal we can accomplish.
Very realistic goals. Why would you set goals you can't achieve? Because then you'll feel bad about yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Instead, it's like
let's always aim low. Always aim low.
Exactly.
Understood.
But no, even people who are not necessarily in the pop culture realm, I get why Stranger Things is a bigger thing. But people in our world, for the most part, are like, no, Stranger Things.
Okay.
Pat Shand, one of our guests, was like, no, Stranger Things. Can't wait to see that. Defenders. So, you asked the question, what does it mean?
But it doesn't mean anything.
Do you think it's just the flavor of the month? Is that what it is?
It doesn't mean anything. Nothing means anything, and I'll explain why. Stranger Things is going to come out, and it's not going to be as good as season 1. and then it's going to be like, they jumped the shark.
Yeah, I know.
And then that's going to be the prevailing buzz on it.
That was my exact
even though it's
back.
a perfectly good follow-up to season 1, everyone's going to be like, I didn't have the religious experience I had with the first one because I became immortal when I watched the first one. I felt like angels touched me on my head and I was able to fly, right? And so the next one comes out, I was like, oh, this is just good.
It's like you're in my head. It's crazy.
This is great. I'm going to have I guess I'll eat some dinner while watching this.
Sure.
And which is normal. Which is which is everything we do when we watch television. It's like, I'm going to eat something, and then it's like, that was excellent episode.
I'll say this,
and
though.
now I'm going to go and do something with my life, right? And that's how it happens. But because this week's experience wasn't the same as last week's first experience, I'm going to say that this sucked compared to that
But
last
I would say
experience.
that the one show that kind of disputes that, though, is Game of Thrones, right? I mean, Game of Thrones
Not
for
necessarily.
7 seasons has basically kept everyone's attention.
No, that's not true, because a couple of weeks ago you were just saying that there was no buzz for it. No one was excited about it.
No, I wasn't saying that.
That is exactly what you said.
That's not true at all. What are you talking
You're
about?
lying.
I'm not lying at all.
You are lying.
Go back on iTunes, search
There you
Secrets
go.
of the Sire.
That's
go listen, because
that's a setup, ladies and gentlemen.
I, in fact, said to our guests, like, how excited everyone is. Like, just seems like it's very overwhelmingly excitable. And
it's not.
Yeah. Was that not in English? Yeah, that wasn't English. I know.
Not the perspective.
You felt English?
Yeah, well,
that's impossible.
I've ignored all your Englishisms.
My Englishisms?
your English-ish words.
Well, look. You could conform to the masses and speak a language everyone knows, or you could create your own.
Just be yourself, right? Understood. That's pretty much the
makes up for the flaws. That's why I host
my
own
approach
show.
to everything.
Yeah.
I could just get on this bus like everybody else.
I would look dumb on someone else's show. On mine, I'm very progressive and ahead of the times. Is woke a thing? I have to stop for a second. Is woke a big thing now?
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone keeps talking about you're so woke.
Mm-hmm.
Do you miss dope? I miss dope. Remember when everything was dope in the 90s? You don't miss dope? I miss dope.
You miss dope?
Yeah. That's so dope.
That explains a lot about you, sir.
Come on, that was a big.
That's
that was
very
a big
telling.
Phrase. That was like the 90s groovy. Like groovy in the 60s. Remember groovy was like the big thing in the 60s?
Yes, until they started saying groovy in the 90s, because the 90s was about being halfway through the 90s. It was about being retro.
No, I know, but that's where we're at right now. But groovy never caught on though. Never re-caught on.
Your crowd, but that doesn't mean it didn't catch on. This means
it
that the Dolce friends were doing it.
Yeah, I have a good pulse on the.
You guys were like that Partridge Family, right? You guys went around in a
colloquialism. Is that a word?
Yes,
it is, right? I actually said that accurately. That's very good.
I'm impressed.
But no, woke is now the big thing.
Spell colloquialism.
Actually, I might be better at spelling it than I am at saying it.
Probably.
All right.
Yes,
so
woke is a thing.
Just kind of wrapping up this.
You and the kids now are on the same page.
That's right. I know, and then I have to to sound relevant. I'm going to be like, "Oh, that's so woke."
Don't do that.
I know. I agree with you. I agree. I think
nothing will make you sound less hip than trying to sound hip. Especially with kids. It's like, what is he doing? I don't know.
I like that we refer to them as kids, yet they are actually full-fledged voting adults.
They're still kids to us.
Well, they're just
old.
They're just smaller. It's a big difference, though, right? Like if they were
everybody's smaller than me.
Well, that's very true, actually. All right, Defenders versus Stranger Things. Stranger Things seem to win out the contest.
You say so. I don't think it's. I think Defenders is going to come out and be, because it's new. I bet you Defenders is going to win out because Defenders is going to be new.
All right,
and Stranger Things is going to be season 2, and it's not going to be as great as season 1, and therefore it will suck as far as the internet is concerned.
All right, one of the big trailers as well that was talked about at Comic-Con is Dark Tower, and our guest coming up next will give us the inside info.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
If you have an interest in marijuana, you want to know about marijuana, law, policy, and culture, then feel free to join me, Joseph A. Bondi, every Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning on my show In the Know 420 on TalkingAlternative.com.
Legalize the herb to continue to resist the passage of this necessary legislation.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place, because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Pornhub traffic plummets during Game of Thrones season premiere. Porn provider Pornhub reports their site traffic was down 4.5% on Sunday when HBO aired the popular fantasy series.
Here's a ridiculous question that probably no one asked.
Yeah.
Who did they report that to?
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. It's brought to you by all of our beloved patrons. We have dedicated fans: Einar Peterson, Matt Byer, Ashley Haikai, our program director Stephanie Dolce, our executive producer Steve Hovecki, Brian Phillips, and Christina Gillen, and as always our Uber fan Christina Dolce. Brian Phillips actually chimed in as well on the Facebook feed and said Groovy had a strong comeback because of Austin Powers.
Yes!
But that was more of a sarcastic comeback. Like, people were making fun of the fact that he was saying groovy. They weren't like genuinely being like, that is groovy, and feeling it. I want the empathy. I want to feel when someone says woke, you feel it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's it. I got nothing in there. Viviana Perez says that she loves Dari, our intern. We love our interns as well, and we're getting super excited to have them on. We are getting super excited to have them. They were going to be
not on the show.
We are pitting them against each other.
Yes,
for their transportation checks,
sticks,
which I have in my wallet today. So it's very exciting, very exciting stuff. But first, I want to welcome our guest, Mr. Dennis Calero. First thing, actually, Dennis, thank you for joining us, though, too. I know you're going through some real ordeals back where you are as well, too. So we actually appreciate you coming on and joining us tonight.
That's very kind. Thank you, guys. It's good to talk to you, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we would definitely offer our condolences and everything going on. But again, thank you. Thank you for coming on. All right. We have to be 100% honest here. Dark Tower's coming out. And we don't know much.
True. That's honest.
We don't know much about it. We just don't know much about it. Yeah. Usually I'll fake it, but this is why we're having you on.
I can break it down briefly. I mean, for those of you that are familiar with Stephen King, It, The Stand, Carrie, King often writes, not often, he writes stories and novels where let's put it this way: things go wrong. Mm-hmm. Reality goes awry. You got killer clowns from outer space. You've got men in black that come and herald the destruction, the apocalypse of the world because of a killer flu. You have psychic teenagers, and the Dark Tower is the easiest way to think about it is the spindle about which his multiverse revolves. It is the center of reality. It is both a place and both every level of the tower is described as one of the dimensions in the multiverse. And one way to look at it is the reason that the worlds of Stephen King have vampires and werewolves and aliens and killer clowns and haunted hotels is because there's something wrong at the tower. There's something wrong at the center of reality. It's being attacked. And our main character, Roland, the gunslinger, who is the last of a long line of they're gunslingers, which you can think of as a combination of cowboys, knights, and Jedis. And it is his sworn duty to find the Dark Tower, which on his plane of existence is a physical place, and figure out what's wrong and fix it, and thus save all of time and space and all of reality.
So I've got two.
Small scale stuff.
Yeah, I got two comments for you. One, that is a much better description than either Hassan or myself would have possibly given. So I give you kudos to that. And two, it sounds like this is Stephen King's version of the Marvel Universe. Then, just kind of like tying everything together into one central film or story.
I mean, there were hints. The first book, and again, I'm trying to be succinct. The first book, The Gunslinger, came out in the 70s, and it was sort of this poems, saga, epic / fantasy adventure. And I don't know that Steve necessarily had everything sort of locked down, but I think he had vague ideas. Mm-hmm. And then as you got through the 80s into the 90s, you began to see hints in the novels as they were coming out that kept referring back to the Dark Tower. And then somewhere in book 4, well, I don't want to spoil.
Go ahead, spoil away.
Okay, fine. This is a niche program, right? In book 4, our main characters step into the world of the Stand.
That's a kind way of saying
and
unpopular.
And it's finally confirmed, and we all had a collective nerdgasm in 94, 95, and it was confirmed.
I remember that. I could hear it.
Yeah, there you go. I know.
It was dope.
Very messy. Yeah, it was dope, and it was woke. And
you could feel it. The dope.
You
said it. Yes. Go.
And we all had a collective gasp of awe because it was finally confirmed that indeed all of the worlds of Stephen King were connected in a intricate web, an intricate multi-universe, if you will.
So it sounds like you are just a huge fan, which is tremendous.
Yes.
How cool is it that you got to work on the comic book series? And did you actually work on the movie as well? Like in terms of concept art?
I did. I actually did more work on the movie. As a matter of fact,
that's awesome.
I was doing all the backup features on the Dark Tower comic book, and I got hired to work on the movie. And the day I did, there was an editorial change at the book, and I was told that the book was going in a different direction, and my services were no longer needed. And I was just like, that's okay. I'm going to be busy working on the movie, so that's okay.
Did you find out the movie first or the book? You found out about the movie first or the book ending?
What was your question? I'm sorry.
Did you find out about the comic book ending first?
Oh, the same. There was my first day working on the movie. The day that I got the call.
So you're walking in with sunglasses on indoors anyway.
Yeah,
at that
$1 billion
point, it doesn't even matter.
I'm in sunny Los Angeles on the Warner Brothers lot, literally walking in the front door of the studio, and just going like, "Yeah, that's okay. No, don't worry about it. I'm fine. I gotta go. I gotta go."
You fools! I'm exactly where I want to be right now. That's like
in fact, I fire you. You don't fire me. I fire you.
That's like the girlfriend dumping you, but then you're already like, no, I'm already at this like supermodel place. Like,
you just hit the lottery.
I've been cheating on you the entire time.
You're leaving? Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
That's fantastic. So, give me your role on the movie and the concept art, and how excited were you to do that?
Actually, it was very unique, and again, always trying to make it succinct because it was very kind of complex. I thought I was signing on to be a concept artist sort of in the preliminary stages of the film kind of being put together, the ideas of the film being put together. And what actually ended up happening was I was hired onto a think tank of like 7 or 8 people from all walks of life. There was a indie film director, a screenwriter, there was one of Steve's former assistants. There was an IT guy from the studio. There was a junior executive from the studio.
And Quaker,
there was
a baker, a candlestick maker.
But the only thing that we all had in common was, and there was a terrific visual effects guy. But we all had in common is that we all knew these books. We all knew these stories and cherished them. And so my role expanded, and I got to do a lot more writing, and I got to work with Akiva Goldsman, who was the Academy Award-winning screenwriter of A Beautiful Mind, with Ron Howard directing, who was also at the time going to direct the movie. And we spent 5 days a week, 6 or 7 hours or more a day, creating a plan to turn 7 novels and short stories and graphic novels into a movie series and TV series and a possible video game and to make it all work out. And we also kind of had carte blanche to change things to make it fit in a movie universe. And we were given the team collectively was given a lot of trust to create ideas to make the conversion into a film into a series of films more theatrical, more dramatic, sort of visually. And it was probably one of the, if not the greatest professional experiences of my life. I learned a lot. It built a path to do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now.
Holy cow. All right, so let me ask you a question about the movie, though, too. Hassan and I were both kind of talking about this over the course of the last few episodes. Is the movie, I guess, a continuation of the books? Is it adaptation? I mean, we think it's more of like a jump, like it's already kind of jumped past the books in a way. Where do we fit in the chronology of the books when we're watching this movie?
Are we spoilering? Are there spoiler warnings? Can people turn off if they don't want to be?
No, we never tell. Wait, we never tell them to turn it off. We never do that. I mean, we'd go down to like 2 viewers then. No. In your best diplomatic way.
He's
all right. Let me do this because I don't want to get him fired either. We have a rule with our guests: don't get the guests fired.
I believe the fan of the books will recognize this as a continuation of the series.
Okay.
People who are not quite so big fans or don't care as much or just want an interesting movie or just have a passing familiarity, for them this will be an adaptation of the books. But technically speaking, I would call this is and especially if you read that last novel and you know what happens at the end of that last novel, then you would probably, as a hardcore King fan, you would interpret this film as a continuation.
Okay. All right. See that? I mean, that's not spoilery. That's we're not ruining any of the plot details.
That was his clean answer.
No, and that's good. But again, we have a rule in the show: don't get the guests fired. We'd like you to continue,
okay.
so this way, you come back again and be part of this fun thing. Now, you've done a lot of things in the comic book industry as well too, and the movie industry. You've drawn a lot of different characters. My personal favorite was the run you did with Peter David on X Factor. That was one of my favorite books back
wonderful.
then. Who's your favorite character to draw, and who's the one character you haven't gotten to draw yet that you'd like to?
My favorite character to draw is not necessarily my favorite character to read, but my favorite character to draw is Wolverine. Because he's just so interesting to draw. He's this muscular, hulking, kind of animalistic brute, and the claws and the hair. And my frame of reference or my frame of judgment for that is because he is very easy to make look cool, especially sort of from my approach to drawing. And the one character that I would love to work with someday is Doctor Strange. I just think that he is a terrific character, and I think I could bring a lot to that character as an artist. And I find the character and I find the iconography associated with the character to be fascinating and really interesting to read and interesting as a visual reference point. So that's easy. Doctor Strange.
Now, you actually said something fun though too. You said that the character you love to draw is Wolverine, but not necessarily to read. So what are you reading these days? What are the books? What are the comics you're getting into?
Not that I don't like reading Wolverine, just is not my favorite to read. Let me think. I am following the DC Rebirth stuff, and I'm really surprised at how much I am enjoying it because it did strike me as a little bit.
Excessive.
Exploitive of the Watchmen stuff, which is sort of sacred for a lot of people.
Sure.
But I enjoy what they're doing, and I enjoy the art on those books quite a bit. And I'm also reading a lot of indie comics. I actually just saw Daniel Klaus's last movie. He wrote a movie called Wilson, which is an adaptation of his graphic novel, and I thought the movie was just terrific. The bestest comic book type thing that I'm experiencing right now is Twin Peaks. I'm watching the Rebirth, and I'm like, this is like the greatest comic book ever made, put on a screen. It's terrific.
Very cool.
Yeah, so there's that.
All right. Hey, Dennis, again, thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate you taking some time out.
My pleasure.
Definitely, I hope this provided a fun distraction from all the other stuff going on.
That's very kind. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and tell the world where they can find you online.
You can find me at DennisCalero.com. You can follow Devil Inside my webcomic. You can go to ToddStashwick.com. And you can always look my stuff. you can always look for my stuff on Amazon. There's a great $25 collection of X-Men Noir, X-Men Noir 2, Wolverine Noir. It's like
cool
15 books worth of stuff for $25 on Amazon.com. Just look it up.
Awesome. Very much. That was Dennis Calero. When we come back, we're going to pit the interns against each other in some Secrets of the Sire trivia so that they can get their expense reimbursement for having done this internship.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
Hello, this is Mark Torres.
And Pronto Comics Zone Dominic Sperano.
And listen to our show, It Came From the Radio, right here on talkradio.nyc, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about entertainment, movies,
comic books, and other news.
So make sure you check us out. That's right here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Wednesday, talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
We need a guest to storm off at some point, right?
They can storm off, but then it's like, you got to hang up the phone.
Yeah,
because hello,
be like,
hang up the phone.
We've got nothing but static on this line.
Or if he fell in his pool, he's walking out, and he storms and he opens the thing, and he.
Why do you assume he's got a pool?
Yeah. They're all on Money Island.
That's right.
There's a lot of pools on Money Island.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every week now.
Every single week.
She's awake now, which is good. She woke.
She's awake.
She woke. No, she woke.
She's woke.
So we actually,
you're so hip.
In between, I know, I am. But did you see when Dennis Calero said the word dope? He meant it, like he felt it. You know, groovy, never caught on, just never did. In between our Facebook feed, if you go to
you're having this argument alone
/Secrets of the Sire, you actually saw we had our intern's friend come join us, and she was like passed out, fast asleep. So clearly not a Dark Tower fan. And not a fan of...
I don't think she's a Secrets of the Sire fan.
No, she's clearly not. She's clearly not.
She came here specifically to go to sleep, right?
She is welcome back anytime.
I mock you. I mock you with my fatigue.
This is very true. This is very true. So we're going to have our interns on in just a second. We're going to actually pit them against each other. I have...
Uh-oh. He's got...
Dun-da-da-da.
He's whipping something out.
Expense reimbursement checks. Woo! For all their travel time that they came down here. And it's, nice little spending money for the summertime.
For cash, and checks are BS.
Yeah, but
Those checks are BS, man.
I can't write off checks. I can't write off checks.
You could stop a check, though.
Uncle Sam.
That's why that works to your advantage.
For Uncle Sam's purposes. Yeah, so we're gonna make them earn their checks, though, and we're gonna make them earn it in about 2 minutes. But first, we do this every week. We take the best news of pop culture out there, and we go spinning the racks.
Spin the rack, spin the rack. All right, I'm gonna fix that.
No,
I'm so sick of it. I'm so tired of it.
Honestly, I literally could fix it while I'm on the air right now, and I should.
Why don't you?
I know, but that's why I was laughing.
Because it's like 20 minutes before you actually hear the singing, and it's like I could have been at home watching TV.
To bomb or not to bomb? Dunkirk defeats Emoji Movie and Atomic Blonde in the battle of the box office. Now, Atomic Blonde was based off a graphic novel, and so we
Dunkirk was a fantastic film. Though.
That's what everyone's talking about. But
I saw it. I snuck in to see it.
I actually went to Twitter and I went to our most reliable source, which is Jeff Gomez from Starlight Runner, and we tweeted back and forth, and I can post our little tweets
I'll vouch for that.
on the website. And I asked, I said, Atomic Blonde made $18.6 million at the box office. Is this a bomb? Is this good? Is this bad? And he said in his things that he actually thinks it's actually a good thing. Global box office nearly matched entire budget, exceeded John Wick, which got a sequel, so very good. Studio wanted $20 million domestic, so slightly under. And then
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's a spin. You see how people put a spin on it?
So you're saying he spun it now?
I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything in particular. I'm just saying how these things can be manipulated, how the numbers can be manipulated to be kind of any result that you want it to be.
I guess that could be for anything, right?
Because we were talking about way more than that last week about the flops and hits and stuff like that. And, that we were having an argument about that. And now you're talking 18 million. Which is nothing, But even for especially for a domestic box office, right? And it's like, well, yeah, but we lowered our expectations and exceeded our lowered expectations.
76% of the people out there agree with you. So you could use numbers for anything. I just made that up. 76% didn't. 76% are excited for Stranger Things too.
I'm 76% invested in what you're saying right now.
This is right. Domino made her internet.
Now I'm hungry. I want pizza.
Debut.
I don't know why.
We have a question for that. Domino made her. Oh yeah, that's right.
Subliminal. Get it? That was. See how I did that? See how I did that? I'm so good. I'm so good at this.
The big stir was, of course, the Colin Kaepernick afro on the character.
God, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm calling it. I'm just dubbing it the Colin Kaepernick. I figured.
Yeah. So there's no we. It's just you.
It's just me. Zazie Beetz, which again, it sounds like a made-up name. Like that can't be her real name.
Probably because it is.
Yeah. No, maybe it's her stage name.
Hope it's a made-up name. I'd punch my mom right in the face if she called me Zazie Beetz. It's
like
ridiculous.
Beats with a Z. It's very like.
Okay. Then see, that's different.
It's very woke.
That's completely different.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all right. Then.
Yeah. Then it's okay.
So let's keep moving.
So she debuted as the luck manipulating mutant Domino. Now, obviously, Domino in the comics is an albino. So having a light skinned black girl with a giant afro is seen as something that could be of newsworthy. But strangely enough, the internet is kind of loving the Deadpool 2 Domino shot. Are you surprised that the internet is not more, the only comments are like, she's a mercenary, it's not practical to have that big afro. Like, that was one of the comments on Twitter. Because, like, she's a mercenary, she's got to, like, do stuff. Like, how is she going to get through doorways and stuff, like, with that afro? No, that was, like, an actual tweet that I made. I like how you just stayed silent there this entire time.
Yeah, because, come on.
Are you just afraid to say controversial things?
That's pure bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. Excuse me.
Well, I think
she's an albino. She's a light skinned black woman with albino skin and a black eye tattoo around her face.
Ironically,
and an assassin. Who's not going to see her coming? The whole thing is the whole idea of it is ridiculous.
The black eye tattoo is actually like a skin disease, though. Is what they're saying. It's actually like whited out. It's all kind of crazy stuff.
I didn't need any of that information to not think it was ridiculous. That doesn't make it not ridiculous.
All right. Well, we
okay, so if you're going to ask questions about ridiculousness.
Well, no, the question was, are you surprised the internet is mostly in favor and loving?
Years and years ago, okay, I was watching Justice League with my uncle, okay? And Superman and the Flash were racing, okay, to see who was faster. And my uncle, at one point, said, this is bullshit. And I'm like, what? He goes, they're making 90-degree turns. You can't make a 90-degree turn at going that speed. And I'm like, so you're all right with the blue suit guy that could fly over the sun, but he can't hang a sharp right? That's what you're saying. That's the problem with these things. People are it's all ridiculous. It's all fantasy. It's all stupid.
Well, it's not stupid. I mean, that's a dumb thing to say.
It is stupid.
That's a dumb thing to say.
No. Here's the point. If you're going to nitpick one stupid thing, if you're going to say that one thing is stupid, you got to admit that all of it is kind of stupid.
It's within the realm of plausibility.
If you can move really fast, like the Flash, would you dress up in a red suit so that everyone can see you flash by?
It would be like a red flash. It'd be like,
why would you want anybody to see you at all? Why would you dress up in a suit? Why would you tell anybody you could even do that?
We will continue that conversation.
This is what I'm saying. It's all stupid.
No. We are very conscious of the time.
No, we know.
And we want to make sure the interns go out in style.
There's 3 solid minutes left. So get him.
All right.
Go get him.
We'll talk more about Domino next week for sure, because I'm sure it'll still be in the conversation of the day.
No,
and we'll talk about Flash wearing a birthday suit, because I think that'll be really good. All right, interns last day. The big key here is, we'll actually, Hassan, can you give Dara your mic?
Oh, I'm not supposed to talk? I'm not supposed to be part of this.
Actually, no, you could. I guess you guys share that one.
They share mics. They're interns.
But you have to talk into the mic. That's
you got to get a promotion
You have to
get a mic.
literally talk into the mic. Because,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right.
So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to ask you guys some Secrets of the Sire trivia. We've got 4 questions. The over-under is 3. I think you're going to get 3 out of 4 right. All right. So we'll see if you guys do better than my thing. Just write your answers down individually. That's why I gave you the paper.
Thing before we run out of time.
You can't cheat.
And then this way we can reveal what your answers are. All right, the name of the fast food chain Hassan almost choked and died on. Much to the apathetic and ambivalent response of his co-host.
A pen that doesn't even work, first of all.
That was Sam's pen.
You're just setting me up to lose. All right, there you go.
All right, Trista.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's the first
And just show me what you wrote down. Chipotle and Chipotle. All right, we got 1 out of 1 correct.
I guess they got that.
They got 1 out of 1 correct.
They both said Chicote.
I guess you don't have to show me. I guess you could just say what you said, but I don't want her to. You have to stop writing. We'll do it like SAT style.
Oh, okay.
The coffee house Hassan does not like to frequent because of its propensity for old man groups and sausage fests.
Oh my God, I don't know this.
You got to write down. All right, you've got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Starbucks both got it. All right. The term for letting... This one's going to be the tricky one, I think. The term for letting someone down gently by starting and ending with a positive statement, which Mike does to Hassan all the time. It's an actual statement where you start with a very nice thing to say about somebody before you tell them something very negative about themselves, and then you close out. Almost like a sandwich.
Oh.
Trista, did you write anything down?
No.
She's got nothing down. All right, Daria, what do you think?
I drew a nice smiley face.
Wow.
The answer was a compliment
sandwich.
Compliment sandwich, yes.
Oh,
compliment sandwich.
That's like old term. You don't
All right. The superpower both hosts wish they could have. And a bonus question would be why?
Transportation so you can get to work on time.
I put teleportation.
Teleportation! Oh!
Because I get transportation.
Oh, it's so Dari wins on a technicality. But she did get the bonus answer correct too. So
yeah,
all right. So we're gonna end it in a tie. We're gonna say 3.5 to 3.5. They hit the over under.
Yeah.
Dari
Our
and
interns were
Tristan.
paying attention all this time. That's
Well,
good,
yeah, it's very repetitive stuff.
Yes.
They gave too, so.
Give
All
them
right.
a little credit.
We want to thank you guys. You did a great job. Phenomenal.
Thank you
We want
so
to thank
much.
everybody for joining us. Next week, we welcome the cast of the nerd-friendly web series Adultish in studio to talk about hipsters, podcasts, and superheroes before they go to Korea. It's going to be very exciting. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Oh, I kind of want to.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Hey, all you crazy listeners. Looking to boost your business? Why not advertise on Talking Alternative with very reasonable rates? Interested? Simply email at info@talkingalternative.com.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network at www.talkingalternative.com. Now, broadcasting 24 hours a day. Talking Alternative.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.